him and I'm at it again. The crystal air calling my name. Down a gravel road, box full of fur, and a mystery in the next steel burr. Catching the first made me a believer. A whole lot of coons, yotes, and beaver.
What a day, guys. What a season. We're on day 2. A little later start to the day today, but that's all right. This is a spot where actually Mark Steck was with me when we filmed, and a coon unburied a 1.5 that was buried down here. So you can just see the amount of activity running right up through here, running right up the bank there. Another really good spot. We're gonna be careful here because I don't want to get them super muddy. So what we'll do is probably anchor one up high over here so the dog proof's right on the lip, and then anchor one right in here, just so they can barely get to the mud. Just try to keep them clean, but taking a lot of raccoons out of this culvert over the last few years. Well, it's gonna be hard to make out, but definitely a trail here. It looks like somebody set it last year and forgot about something. I mean, that's definitely a nice raccoon trail, but yeah, that wasn't me, and it's too early to pre-stake yet, so somebody forgot it from last year. And we are far enough from any house. This can be a great spot for a 220. Kind of got the potential for cats in this area too, so we got Pops riding with us today, so hi. So nice little trail. I've never seen this before. This one's, I've drove past this for years and I've never seen this, so apparently somebody else did though. So like I said, you never know where they're all at. Always go slow and check everything, because you never know where you're gonna miss one. It's just one of my absolute favorite trails. I always do really well on it. Really hard to tell right here. We can kind of see where the comes down. So that's that little bit of brown there. Kind of gives it away, and you can see it coming through here, even bare dirt farther. Generally the other side, well actually here's a good point for you. Look at all this gravel, and then kind of just it's flattened. You know, you don't have a bunch of loose rocks on it, it's just flattened. You can even make out a few tracks on it. This here is one of my favorite locations. You kind of, I guess I could say I get into like pockets of bobcats between this location, one right down the road, and one right around the corner. So I'd say all within 500 yards. Over the years I've probably got 5 bobcats now. 5 or 6 bobcats in this area. So I just kind of have pockets of them. This trail's taken 2 of them actually, including one last year. So just, it doesn't look crazy, you know, amazing, but just kind of underneath the shrubs there. We've got field each side. It's just a fence line running down. On the other side we got cornfield and a real mature thicket, and you can see the trail wrapping around here. You can also see all the activity coming in and out of it. So dynamite, we catch a lot of raccoons on it, but also, you know, those cats love that timber to timber too. Well, we're on another piece here, a new piece for me. I've always trapped the road that runs parallel to this, but I've never come over a section and checked this out. Definitely glad we did. We got a lot of rocks in the culvert here. You can just see that trail going underneath the grass. Just a block of timber with corn coming from a big block of timber on the other side of the road. So we've even got a really nice land trail here. We do have a building right up the hill here, so we can't 220 them, but this would be a great spot for a pair of dog proofs down here. So looking good. Like I said, it's kind of early yet. I like to see the trails a little more developed than this right now, which makes it harder going into the new ground because you don't know what's going to develop and what's going to die off. So some of these trails that are kind of they might turn out to be just dynamite here in 2 weeks, or they might just dissolve altogether. So going in new ground, you really don't have an idea of what's going to do what. You know, you kind of have with your experience of where the locations are and what they're doing, you know, where they're going to go, you know, based on corn or timber, or you kind of just get a feel for it. But until it actually develops, you just don't know. Don't ever overlook these farm entrances. You know, they might not have a lot of appeal, but I could just kind of see, I don't know how well you'll make it out, but you can just kind of see this trail going through here. I think these more flat trails you can see a lot better on camera. So I came over here and I looked, and right there, and that shows up really good on camera. Probably even better than it does in person, but it goes beyond that. If you look out in the actual field itself, I hope you guys can see that. You can see the trail winding right down through it. And we're in the wide open here, no houses around within probably a half mile at least. So definitely a great little 220 spot. Nice little tunnel here where they mowed the grass over the top. Got another one back there. Great double 220 location. I have never seen this trail before, and I've trapped this for a lot of years. So I said before, I got to slow down and pay attention. You guys can see it right there, going plain as day underneath that log. This is awesome. Too close to a house, but for 220s, which is disappointing because that'd be a perfect funnel, but that's all right. We're gonna check out the other side, see what it looks like. Oh yeah, if it drops off. Oh yeah, it drops off nicely. We got a lot of room here. We'll definitely throw at least 2 dog proofs in there. Number 132. Hoping to get to 250 today. We got a lot of ground to scout. I'm wanting 1,000 locations, and realistically, I've only got 3 days of being off work to get this stuff done. So plenty of stuff to make at home. Still got to make pogos. Still got to make a bunch of other stuff. A lot of work yet, but got to take advantage of the daylight while we can. I know you guys can see that one. This is stuff that I hadn't slowed down through here for a couple years. I'm glad I finally took the time to do it, because we just showed you that really good trail that I just found on the tuft of grass that went under the tree. That's right there. So we are maybe 10 yards from that, and this trail crosses over to this tree. I mean, we got part of it here, and maybe even a bigger part of it right here. Dynamite. So we're gonna have 4 dog proofs in about 25 feet. Here we got a perfect trail. I really like the trails that go up high like this. As far as finding the trails, they stand out a lot better than the ones where you're in a culvert with overgrowth. Generally, these trails are a lot more noticeable, and they just really stand out. The other side's even better. I mean, even got a couple kind of micro trails here to the side too, but the other side of the road, I mean, wow. That don't get any better than that. So probably throw a couple 220s in on this. Just dynamite location. So just don't get any better than that. There's a few tracks in here, but it's kind of hard to tell. So actually, yeah, it's gonna be good. We'll be able to brush in a couple 220s early season, but they won't last too long. That, this nice kind of lighter brown grass really gets knocked down quick with snow and wind and rain and everything else. So definitely have to hit this 220 location early, otherwise we'll have to use dog proofs. Some of you might find this interesting. Came over here, check out this trail, look down for tracks. That's a nice boot print that is not mine. So I even see where someone pulled over here. So someone's doing the same thing I'm doing. Just got to beat them to the punch. They left sign here, lets me know they're here. That's their own fault. Always got to be as sneaky and stealthy as you can. We're doing everything ethical, not cheating, not doing anything wrong. But you got to play the game, you know what I mean? I hardly ever pull over sharp. It's always gradual, especially when we get that kind of wet shoulders. If we get some rain, gets really wet, I'll actually jump from tire track to tire track to keep footprints out of the road. Things like that, just let people know that not to raise any suspicion that anyone else is doing anything here. So it's done well for me in the past, and we'll see who this is later, I'm sure. Well, we're getting on some of this new stuff that I just set foot on here probably about a week or 2 ago. You can just see this nice land trail coming out of the culvert. We got basically this whole road here. We're gonna have a bunch of timber on the right and corn on the left for about 3 miles, and that was the attention getter. And then there's plenty of other roads that are running north and south to complement this one. So we'll see what we come up with. Being new to this area, I have no plan, no route yet, so it could be interesting. Well, we're kind of wrapping up the day here, guys. It's getting a little later. I gotta be home, get dinner ready for the family, but this is gonna be number 237 if it pans out. But we're just cruising by and I saw this little blip in the grass in the road ditch. We'll walk up here and take a look at it. Can't see anything in the grass in the tracks here, but oh yeah, money, hell yeah. It's been a good day, guys. We are, I think, pushing 70 locations on ground I've never even been to before, so definitely doing awesome. Plus, I mean, we got probably 3 new pieces, maybe 4 new pieces, so it'll be interesting to see where it plays out. But yeah, I mean, we are just, oh yeah, the other side's even better, so great day so far. Well, here we are, day 3, guys, scouting, still on this new ground that I've never been to. This road's they just keep getting better and better. We got a cornfield up here, gonna be kind of hard to tell. Might be able to see it over there a little bit, but just phenomenal trail here. You can see it down there coming through the tube as well. So we'll go down to the bottom, set this. Got a high trail and one through the tube. We'll pull into the base of the tube to get them off of both trails here. But we'll take a look at the other side, see what the high bank trail looks like over here. And oh man, gorgeous. We're moving along, and these roads, it's perfect. This year rotation is perfect. Next year won't be quite as good with a lot more beans, but this piece right now, timber to corn, it's amazing. Well, not sure how well this is gonna turn out, but you can see a trail up there coming from the ditch, crossing kind of the little levee, come down here into a culvert. This whole road's been really good. You got a bunch of trees that kind of stand alone, fence lines, more draws coming to the road, and for the last mile we've had corn on the other side. So phenomenal location. I think we've got about 12 spots here in a mile. It's just perfect. Can't ask for anything better than this, guys, but it takes a lot more time doing this kind of cold rolling, if you will. I'm not used to this area. I've never been to these roads before, so you know, I always said several times now, you think you know it all in an area. Never always pays to slow down and learn more. But today I don't think we've got above 10 mile an hour the whole time, because we just don't know where to expect these things. You know, my experience has gotten me to a point where I think I know, but as soon as you start thinking you know exactly, you're gonna miss half your location. So sometimes these trails surprise you. They pop up from the randomest places, but man, it's looking good. Beans aren't exactly my favorite to set on, but I always check them out, especially with the skunk market being the way it is. You can see this little low spot. Chances are there's a culvert here. That was where I was pulling up to. That was, you know, my first place to look. But as I was driving by real slow, this cedar tree that's not in the middle of the straw by any means, this is on the outskirt edge, I found that. You know, raccoons love these cedar trees, and just because you got a low spot up here, and you know, there's probably going to be good activity there, going to beans even. But don't forget to check those edges. That cedar tree, that's a nice spot, real good spot for 220. We're gonna mark that. We're just gonna go ahead and walk up here and see what this looks like. It's hot today, fellas. It's like 82 degrees. I should not have thrown my hip boots on, but some of these suckers are way down deep, but I'm not sure how well it's gonna show up. But you can see a faint trail coming up through here. It's not something I'm gonna set heavy on. We'll set one here, so I'll probably go back to their spot, throw a 220 in a dog proof, and probably on day 3 we'll end up pulling them. You know, it's maybe good for 1 or 2 at best, maybe a skunk or 2. These aren't spots that I really set heavy on. It's one of those things, you know, I hear a lot of people say, oh, just skip over those 1-2 locations and hit the 8 or 10 coon. Well, if I have 40 1 or 2 locations to get to those 8 to 10 coon spots, and I'm going past them anyway, let's stop. You know, let's make it worth it, in my opinion. Not saying it's right or wrong. Everyone has their own style and does things differently, but that's how I roll. And I feel pretty successful doing it. So next spot. Worst part about having a dry September, these roads are terrible right now. car comes by and you're dusted out bad. It's nice. It's really nice when you get out of the truck. You don't even have to look at that little low spot on the bank and you know it's a trail. Well, there's a bunch of junk going over it, but definitely a coon running across here. Several tracks. And there's several sets through here. So we'll see what the other side looks like. Hopefully it's a little cleaner. Why, hello. That is beautiful. That is going to work out well. I think this is going to be our last stop, which is 293, which means our new piece that we just found this year on this section yielded 130 locations. And we just got 2 more new to me pieces that are going to do really well. They're not going to be near this size, probably 30 to 50 locations, but that's what it takes every year. You got to keep expanding. Keep expanding, keep growing. Well, I lied to you. It was not going to be our last one. I got out because I thought under this cedar tree, we were just right there, but under this cedar tree looks good. And oh yes, 161 locations. That's perfect. And that's what I love. You know, we just went literally 20 yards and found a nice land location underneath this cedar tree. So good day, guys. Real good day. Well, backing up to do my good deed for the day. Ugh. That would definitely puncture a tire.